What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2 and another Chaos 7 build. Now, this is a endgame grind build for the Bastille Master Incursion in Chaos 7, and of course, being solo. Now, of course, the Incursion has a time limit and a death counter. The death counter is right on the screen there. If we run out of time, we lose. If we die 4 times, we lose. So we want to make sure to take care not to die. And although there is the time limit is pretty darn generous. So, build with a sense of urgency, but don't sweat it. If you've got just tons and tons of time. Now, we do have 2,000 DU on this map, which is 400 per entrance. However, we're not going to get all 2,000 of that mana up front. So we do have to pay attention to that. And I'm going to go with the double stack of proton beams. 4 flame R's per lane. And 2 lightning strikes. Now, I forgot to go through all my defenses, but I'm so confident that the timer is not a big deal. I'm going to be using spike blockades, of course, with power pylon, sharpened spikes, and fortification. Then I'm going to go with some flame R's with deadly strikes, power transfer, and defense crit damage. Skyguard towers with destruction, power transfer, and deadly strikes. Lightning strike auras with deadly strikes, defense crit, and power transfer. And last but not least, the mighty proton beam with defense crit damage, frosty beams, and power transfer. Like I said, you do have to build with a sense of urgency. However, don't sweat it. You got tons of time. You got time for me to go through and show you all the medallions. Which means you got time to take your time if you need to. So think out your build. Don't chaotically throw stuff around worrying about that time, as the time really is not a huge issue. Very, very generous on the time factor. Now we're going to go with a Skyguard there. We do have a flyer lane here for a Skyguard and a flyer lane here. Now with a lot of the Kobolds on some of these straight lanes, you really get a nice bit of double dipping action out of your auras. So you don't have to worry a ton about the Kobolds. However, the lanes that do have actual flyer lanes, you want to make sure you take care to get those squared away. Now on this lane, I always like to use a 5th aura right here, just because auras are so darn effective against the flyers. And then we're going to go with 2 LSAs. Of course, since this is the Incursion, we only have 1 objective, so all we have to worry about is protecting the 1. Let's go some walls right here. I'm going to push these flame R's as close, these protons, as close as I can to the entrance there. Oops. Fail, click, fail, click. That's a little bit better. And then I'm also going to start on up here close with the flame R's, as I do kind of want to choke these guys right off at the spawn. Then we're going to get our 2 lightning strikes in and call it good. Now here I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to put my blockades right here, right at the top of the stairs. However, I have had issues, not all the time, but periodically with hex throwers throwing their badness over and hitting the core. So I'm going to give it a little reflect beam, which is also going to provide a little bit of damage right up front there. Now let's also still just do our double stack. So let's go ahead and get the protons in. A little shorty on that end. And then the flame R's as well. The flame R's I just like to get as close as I can to the spawn. And something like that. And then same thing with the LSAs. Just get them in there. No huge sense of urgency. Now, as you see, all of our green mana is gone, so I cannot build this lane out until the end. However, with only 1 objective, we really don't have to worry too much about this lane, as it will have to go through all of that badness down here before it can have any issues with the core. Now, although I am just going to manually burn down this lane, I can fall back if I need to. It seems like you usually don't really need to, as long as you pay special attention to the kobolds. The kobolds, of course, will make your life miserable if they get all the way down there. Let's go ahead and auto meow it up and see if we can't get this pack burned up a little bit. It makes for a long first wave, however, it's a pretty safe first wave. And then now, of course, the bads are all coming into range of the defenses, and it'll be good game for the rest of these guys. A couple of mages, and away we go. Now, we are going to spawn camp this lane just like the others, and that's part of the benefit, too, of kind of the speed build for this map. Since there is a time limit, we don't want the mobs to have to walk too far. You know, we want to be able to kill them relatively quickly from the time they come out without them taking, you know, taking a leisurely stroll through the Bastille. Let's see, we'll go with our 4 flame auras, 2 lightning strikes, and then we'll throw a couple of walls right here. And that leaves me plenty of DU left to do anything else I want. And although I don't really need much else, I will throw a Skyguard right here. And then I'll really just focus the rest of it on upgrades. With that enormous amount of DU to spend, there's, you know, you can by all means fill it up. Fill her up. You know, get the map full of defenses. But you're going to find that you don't really need to. Now with the protons in the mix, as you see there, you get the instant assassin removal, which is very, very nice. And, you know, although it's just habit to burn down those geodes right away, we actually have no projectiles except the sky guards. And the sky guards don't really reflect like the other projectiles do with a geode. They kind of get absorbed into the top of it, and they don't necessarily bounce around and do just an ungodly amount of damage. Get our little siege roller one-shot and start instantly upgrading. Now, you're going to want to get an upgrade on every Skyguard to get them at least at a minimum to tier 2. And then besides that, the only thing you really want to focus on is maybe getting a couple of auras upgraded. However, remember protons have that scaling with the 20 DU towers, and it allows you to kind of double dip with the power transfer shard. So nothing wrong with throwing lots and lots of upgrades right into those protons. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm not even remotely concerned about the time, as we do have quite a bit of time just to get it done. So I'm just going to kind of cruise around and make sure everything is really squared away here. Now in the final wave, the Bastille Master boss is going to come out of this lane. So I do want to make sure everything down here has at least an upgrade to tier 2. Looking good. And from here, we can just burn the rest. Now these walls, putting them up top, it seems like I have less problems with hex throwers throwing at the core. However, you can put them at the bottom of the stairs. You just have to be a little bit more careful about how you place them. Lots of assassins on the Bastille Master, and that's where lots of proton beams definitely saves the day. Getting up here and getting dirty. See, we got a Slakelion coming, and he is all the way down below, so he's going to get wrecked before I get there. However, I want to make sure I am good to go to burn him down here when this next wave starts. Gonna gather up all I have, and then let's just make Slakelion's life just a little bit worse. There we go. Chewed him apart pretty quick. Love me some EV2. Oh yeah. Good stuff, this girl right here. Absolutely love her. And it looks like we got another roller coming on up. One more. I kind of usually like to ignore the rollers until all the assassins are dead. I don't want to get caught running past any objectives with an assassin on me. And we got quibs rolling up all the way down below too. And roller got wrecked. So now here we are on wave 5 with still, what, 11, almost 12 minutes left. So we've got just tons and tons of time, as it only takes, what, 2 or 3 minutes to actually run the actual wave. So, you know, don't sweat the time, once again. Just build how you want to build. Get all your defenses down there the way you like them. And do pay attention to the time, but don't really sweat the time, that's for sure. And looking pretty solid there. I think we're going to go one more up on those two just because I can. And on that Sky Guard. Now from here, of course, we're not going to be doing any more upgrades, so just chew everything up. Just get to burning down the badness. As soon as the assassins come, just run right on top of your protons and laugh hysterically as they just get crushed. So, looks like the Bastille Master is out. I think she may already be dead. A lot of power down there in that lane. Oh, used up one of my lives. Now, if I can just stay alive. If I die 3 more times, it's over. But the baddies are burning fast, so the chances of that happening are probably slim. We do have just a siege roller left. Easy enough. And there we go. So that is the current grind build that I'm using for Bastille Master. And I'll be honest, I'm not grinding this map very often. I'm mainly doing the trials. However, if you do have any interest in getting the incursion weapons from Chaos 7, you will want to grind this one out and save yourself some defender medals instead of buying it from the vendor. You see, I got the Abyss Lord's Tome here. So, not too shabby. So that will do it for now. Thank you very, very much for watching. Click that like button and please subscribe to the channel. And I will be back soon with some more Dungeon Defenders 2. Take it easy.